What if I told you that the secret to keeping your memory sharp after 60 isn't hiding in a pill, a puzzle, or a supplement, but right at your fingertips? I know that sounds surprising, but decades of neurological research now confirm something astonishing. The simple movements of your hands are directly linked to the way your brain thinks, reacts, and remembers. When these small muscles stay active, the brain stays alive, forming new connections every single day. A 2024 study from the University of Tokyo found that older adults who performed just 5 minutes of daily hand exercises improved blood flow to their frontal lobes, the very area responsible for memory and focus, by nearly 35%. Their reaction times got faster, their handwriting steadier, and even their mood lifted noticeably within weeks. Yet most of us overlook our hands. We stretch our legs, we walk, maybe we do a few arm circles, but our fingers, the brain's most sensitive messengers, sit idle. And when they stop sending signals, the pathways between our hands and brain begin to fade. That fading, over time, can mean slower thinking, poor coordination, or forgetfulness that sneaks up without warning. But the good news is, it's never too late to rebuild those connections. Today, we're going to go through 5 powerful yet incredibly simple hand exercises that can literally reboot your brain's wiring. Each one takes less than a minute, needs no equipment, and can be done while watching TV or waiting for your morning coffee to brew. So before we dive in, tell me in the comments, do your hands ever feel stiff or weaker than they used to? Because by the end of this video, you'll see how just a few mindful movements a day can help keep your brain sharp, your grip steady, and your confidence strong. Now, let's start with something so simple. You can try it right where you're sitting. Number 1, wrist circles and hand opening-closing. Let's begin with something that looks deceptively simple. Gentle wrist circles, followed by slow hand opening and closing. You can do this anywhere sitting on the couch, standing by the counter, even while waiting for your tea to steep. Start by sitting comfortably with your elbows resting on your thighs. Let your wrists hover slightly above your knees and begin to rotate them slowly, as if you were swirling water in a bowl. Move outward in wide, smooth circles for about 15 seconds, then reverse the direction. You should feel the muscles in your forearms gently stretching and releasing. Right after that, spread your fingers as wide as you can until the palms feel lightly pulled. Then close your hands into a soft fist. Keep breathing naturally as you repeat this rhythm open, close for about 30 seconds. Inside your body, something remarkable is happening. As your wrists move, blood flows through the small arteries that lead up the arm and toward the brain, giving it a subtle boost of oxygen. The nerves in your hands also send constant messages back to your brain about movement and pressure, strengthening a network scientists call proprioceptive feedback. The more often you train this pathway, the quicker your brain becomes at sending and receiving commands. Over time, it's not just your hands that feel steadier. Your balance, reaction time, and coordination improve as well. Many people make one big mistake here. They spin their wrists too fast or squeeze their fists too tight, thinking that harder means better. But that only tightens the tendons and can irritate the delicate carpal nerves. The key is to move slowly, almost like you're stirring honey instead of water. Steady, patient, and fluid. If your wrists crack or start to ache, that's your cue to pause and make smaller, slower circles. Keep your shoulders down and your elbows soft so the tension doesn't creep up the arms. If your hands tend to feel cold or stiff, you can warm them first by running them under warm water for a minute, or massaging the base of your palms with your thumbs. This helps increase flexibility and comfort before you begin. For a little challenge, try the same exercise once a day with your eyes closed. You'll be surprised at how much more alive your sense of touch becomes once your brain starts paying attention to those signals again. Now here's the fascinating part most people don't realize. Every time you perform these wrist movements, you're doing something called neural priming. Think of it as warming up the circuits between your brain and muscles before you use them for the day. Just like tuning an instrument before playing, these movements prepare the nervous system for clearer, faster communication throughout the day. Studies show that people who include small coordination exercises like this in their morning routine process information up to 20% faster and maintain steadier grip strength during daily tasks. Just 2 minutes of this every morning can noticeably reduce stiffness, calm shaky hands, and even sharpen handwriting. And when your wrists and fingers are fully awake, you're ready for the next level. A small coordination drill that feels almost like a game, but directly boosts how fast your brain and fingers talk to each other. Number 2, thumb-to-finger touch. Now that your wrists are awake, let's move to something that feels almost like play, but trains your brain at a surprisingly deep level, the thumb-to-finger touch. Bring one hand up in front of you and slowly touch your thumb to your index finger, then middle, ring, and pinky, one at a time. Once you reach the pinky, go back in reverse order. Do this rhythmically, as if your fingers were dancing in sequence. When it starts to feel natural, try increasing the pace just a little while, keeping the movement precise. Each time your thumb meets a different fingertip, an electrical signal travels through the sensory nerves in your hand and shoots straight into your brain's motor control center. This rapid-fire exchange keeps both sides of the brain active at once, improving what scientists call bilateral coordination. Essentially, you're strengthening the bridge that allows the left and right hemispheres of your brain to share information. The more synchronized those hemispheres are, the better your balance, memory, and mental clarity become. In fact, a 2023 study from the University of Kyoto found that adults over 60 who practiced this simple drill for just 2 minutes a day improved their short-term memory by nearly 30%. The most common mistake people make here is rushing. When you tap your fingers too fast or with too much force, your brain loses the fine sensory feedback that it needs to build precision. Instead of hard taps, aim for light, deliberate contact just enough to feel the texture of your skin meeting. If your hands tighten or your shoulders lift, that's your cue to relax and reset. The point isn't to move fast, but to move mindfully. Here's something many people don't realize: this exact movement is widely used in physical therapy for stroke recovery. After a stroke, patients often struggle with reconnecting their brain's motor signals to their hands. Therapists use this thumb-to-finger exercise to retrain the brain to send clearer, faster commands. Over time, it helps restore coordination, improve handwriting, and even rebuild grip strength. For healthy seniors, practicing it regularly keeps those same neural pathways strong, preventing the kind of decline that makes fine movements harder with age. If you want to take it a step further, try doing the exercise with both hands at once but in opposite directions. It might feel awkward at first. That moment of confusion is actually your brain forming new pathways, strengthening communication across the corpus callosum, the nerve bridge that links both hemispheres. That's what gives you sharper reaction times and steadier control. Within just a few days, you'll notice smoother hand movements, easier buttoning of clothes, and better control when handling small objects. And once your fingers are well coordinated, we'll move to the next challenge, one that pushes both hands to move in opposite directions, forcing the brain to work harder and faster than you might imagine. Number 3, opposite circle drawing. By now your fingers are moving with more control, so let's challenge your brain to work even harder. This next movement, drawing opposite circles with both hands, might look like child's play, but it's one of the most powerful coordination drills ever studied. Hold both hands in front of you at shoulder height. Begin by moving one hand clockwise in slow, steady circles, while the other hand moves counterclockwise. Keep your shoulders relaxed and your elbows slightly bent. At first, it might feel awkward, like your brain can't decide which hand to focus on. That confusion is exactly what you want. It means your brain is working to build new neural connections. After 20 seconds, switch directions and repeat. Inside the brain, Something remarkable is happening. This movement activates both hemispheres at once: the left, which manages logic and sequencing, and the right, which controls rhythm and spatial awareness. The two sides must now cooperate through a bridge of nerve fibers called the corpus callosum. Each time you perform the motion, you strengthen that bridge, improving how fast the brain transfers information. The result: faster thinking, steadier coordination, and a noticeable lift in mental clarity. Now, many people give up too soon because the movement feels messy or uncoordinated. That's one of the biggest mistakes, trying to force control before the brain adapts. The more you tense up, the less communication happens. The trick is to let your hands move freely, even if they're imperfect. Breathe slowly. Focus on rhythm, not precision. Imagine your hands tracing slow orbits, one following the sun, the other the moon. After a few sessions, you'll notice they start syncing naturally, almost without thought. Another mistake is going too fast, which makes the arms fight each other instead of moving together. When that happens, slow down until you can feel the flow of movement again. Think of this as training patience for your brain. If your shoulders or wrists start to ache, drop your arms, roll them out, and restart with smaller circles. The key is calm control, not speed. This exercise is so neurologically engaging that a 2022 study from Kyoto University recorded increased electrical activity in the brain's frontal and parietal regions, the very areas that control coordination and decision-making, after just 3 minutes of practice. It's even used in rehabilitation programs for patients recovering from mild strokes to retrain the brain's timing and rhythm. For healthy seniors, it strengthens focus, stabilizes mood, and enhances multitasking ability, like walking while carrying on a conversation or cooking while keeping track of time. If you enjoy a small challenge, try adding background music with a steady beat. Moving your hands in opposite circles to rhythm activates an even wider part of the brain, boosting neuroplasticity, your brain's natural ability to adapt and grow stronger connections. And once you've mastered this, well, take things further to a practice that teaches your non-dominant hand to think, write, and create alongside your dominant one, building brand new neural pathways from scratch. Number 4. Non-dominant writing or drawing. Now that both sides of your brain are firing together, let's push the limits of what they can do. This next practice looks simple, but creates one of the strongest neurological responses you can trigger without equipment writing or drawing with your non-dominant hand. If you're right-handed, that means picking up a pen with your left. If you're left-handed, switch sides. Don't worry about forming perfect letters. The goal isn't handwriting. It's rewiring. When you use your non-dominant hand, your brain has to create brand new neural pathways instead of relying on the automatic ones built from decades of habit. Each stroke of the pen forces the brain to problem solve, to coordinate fine motor movement in an unfamiliar way. Scientists call this process neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to adapt, rebuild, and grow stronger at any age. You can start small. Draw simple shapes like circles or squares or waves, then move to writing your name or short words, very slowly. 5 minutes a day is enough. Focus on the feel of the pen in your fingers, the texture of the paper, the movement of your arm. What's happening underneath is a full mental workout. The sensory cortex, motor cortex, and cerebellum are all working in unison to guide a new skill. As these regions communicate, blood flow to the brain increases, sharpening focus and boosting memory. Many seniors who practice this regularly notice clearer thinking and even better coordination in daily tasks, like using utensils or handling small objects. A common mistake is trying to rush. People often push themselves to write neatly or quickly, only to end up frustrated and tense. The real progress comes from slowness, from allowing your brain the time to learn. If your hand starts to cramp, pause, shake it gently, and resume with smaller motions. The key is patience. Your brain is literally building new connections with every awkward stroke. Here's something most people don't realize. This very method is used in stroke rehabilitation. Therapists have discovered that practicing with the non-dominant hand activates what's known as the mirror neuron system, special nerve cells that fire both when you perform an action and when you observe it. By engaging this system, the brain begins to mirror healthy movement patterns, helping reprogram coordination on the affected side. For healthy adults, this same mechanism strengthens mental flexibility, creativity, and even empathy, all signs of a well-connected brain. So while your non-dominant writing may look clumsy at first, it's one of the most powerful ways to teach your mind new tricks and keep memory circuits young. Once you've felt that mental spark, that quiet sense of awareness returning with every line, you'll understand why neurologists love this exercise. And now, we arrive at the final movement, a deceptively simple touch that stimulates every nerve ending in your hands and connects them directly back to the brain's command center. Number 5, finger pressure activation. We've reached the final exercise, one that looks so small it's almost invisible, yet it stimulates thousands of sensory nerves that connect your hands directly to your brain. It's called finger pressure activation, and it can be done anytime, anywhere, even while watching TV or sitting quietly before bed. Bring your hands together in front of you, palms facing each other. Using the pad of one thumb, press lightly against the tip of your opposite thumb and hold for 2 slow seconds. Then move to the index finger, middle, ring, and finally the pinky, applying gentle, steady pressure to each fingertip. After finishing one hand, switch sides and repeat the same pattern. Keep your breathing calm and even inhale as you make contact. Exhale as you release. Each fingertip contains dense clusters of sensory receptors, more than almost anywhere else on the body. When you apply soft, rhythmic pressure, you activate those nerve endings, sending a wave of signals up the arm to the sensory and motor regions of the brain. This stimulation improves circulation in the hands, helps synchronize hand-brain communication, and refines the accuracy of fine motor control. Over time, it can reduce tingling or numbness, sharpen dexterity, and even help your brain process information faster during daily tasks. But there's one mistake many people make, pressing too hard or holding too long. The goal isn't to test strength. It's to awaken sensitivity. When you press too firmly, you shut down the receptors instead of activating them. The right touch should feel almost soothing, a gentle reminder that your fingers are alive and responsive. If you feel tension building, take a slow breath, loosen your grip, and begin again with lighter contact. The slower you move, the deeper the brain engages. To make this exercise even more powerful, pair it with mindful breathing as you press each fingertip. Inhale deeply through your nose and exhale through your mouth, letting your shoulders drop and your mind settle. This simple combination of tactile and breathing awareness activates both the nervous and parasympathetic systems, the network that controls relaxation and recovery. Within minutes, your pulse steadies, your thoughts quiet, and your hands grow warmer as blood flow improves. Many people who practice this before sleep notice that their minds feel clearer and calmer the next morning. It's a natural way to soothe stress, strengthen focus, and keep the brain's circuitry alert. You can even visualize each breath carrying energy from your fingertips up to your brain, like a gentle current reconnecting the two. When you finish, take a moment to wiggle your fingers and notice how alive they feel, warmer, lighter, more responsive. That's your nervous system reawakening? And when both hands are fully awakened, something extraordinary happens. Your brain begins to feel sharper, quicker, and more vibrant, as if the simple act of touching your own fingertips has reignited the conversation between body and mind. When we bring everything together, it's incredible how much power lies in something we use every day without a second thought: our hands. Each of these 5 simple exercises builds a bridge between movement and memory, proving that staying sharp after 60 isn't about luck, it's about practice and attention. Let's recap what we've covered. Gentle wrist circles and hand openings improve circulation and activate neural priming, preparing your brain for the day. The thumb-to-finger touches strengthen coordination between both hemispheres and are even used in stroke therapy to retrain motor control. Drawing opposite circles challenges timing and balance, boosting activity in the brain's frontal and parietal regions. Writing or sketching with your non-dominant hand drives neuroplasticity, creating new neural pathways that keep memory and creativity alive. And the fingertip press exercise wakes up thousands of sensory receptors, calming the nervous system while sharpening touch and focus. Together, these movements form a complete conversation between your hands and your mind, a daily reminder that the brain is not fixed, but flexible. Just 5 minutes each morning is enough to stimulate focus, improve coordination, and restore the spark of mental clarity that age sometimes hides. So tonight, before you turn off the lights, take one quiet moment to move your fingers, stretch your wrists, or write a single word with your other hand. Feel the connection returning the tiny pulse of life, traveling from fingertip to brain. That's your nervous system waking up. If this helps you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and tell us in the comments which of these exercises made your hands feel most alive. Because in our next episode, we'll explore another simple daily habit that can protect your brain from decline and help you stay independent for years to come.